Good day, everyone. We are Group 4, and we'll be presenting our topic entitled Temperature Measurement. But first, I am Joshua Campos from MEE 4A. Temperature plays a crucial role in almost every system, uh, from industrial processes, power generation, and even everyday appliances like refrigerators and air conditioners. Sa presentation po na ito, we'll discuss how temperature is measured, different devices used, their principles of operations, and focusing on RTDs, thermocouples, thermal wells, and thermostats. But before we go deeper, let's first define temperature. In simple terms, temperature is the coldness and hotness of an object or environment. It also tells us how much heat is present in a material. And also, temperature measurement has existed for centuries. Pinakaunang device na ginagamit pang measure ng temperature is yung mercury thermometers. And nag-work siya sa thermal expansion. As the temperature rises, the mercury also expands, which moves up on the glass tube. Kahit ngayon, yung same principle na ginagamit dati ay ginagamit pa rin sa mga mechanical thermometers. Pero sa modern engineering and automation, we are now using electrical and electronic sensors for better accuracy, speed, and signal transmission. Ito naman yung mga common measuring devices. In industrial systems like power plants or manufacturing lines, the most common temperature measuring devices includes RTDs or resistance temperature detector, thermocouples, thermal wells, and thermostats. Each of these has unique operating principles, advantages, and also limitations depending on the required accuracy and temperature range. Let's start with the most accurate temperature sensor, which is the resistance temperature detector or RTD. RTD is basically a precision resistor made of pure metal such as platinum, nickel, or copper, whose resistance changes with temperature. Yung pinaka-concept niya ay simple lang. When the temperature increases, the resistance of the metal also increases. By measuring the change in resistance, we can calculate the exact temperature. Yung RTD, it is widely used in power plants kasi nga sa kanya accuracy, stability, and linear response. Typical RTD consists of fine wire coil made of pure metal, often platinum, at tapos naka-enclose siya sa protective probe. Platinum, pinaka-common yung platinum kasi nga it offers excellent linearity and repeatable readings over a wide range of temperature. So in summary, RTD works in change of resistance with temperature. It also provides accurate and repeatable measurements and widely used sa mga power plants.
I'm Anna Marie Boco and I'll be discussing the RTD using the Wheatstone bridge. As you can see in this circuit, when there is no current flowing through the meter, it means the voltage at point A is the same as the point B. This is called the null balance. At that point represents the zero or reference point for the RTD. As the temperature around the RTD, na sinabi din kanina na nag-i-increase, which means yung resistance also increases. Then the changes causes a difference in voltage between point A and point B. which can be measured by voltmeter. The higher the temperature, the higher the voltage reading. And if we replace daw natin yung voltmeter with the voltage transducer, magko-convert daw yung voltage into a 4 to 20 milliampere current signal, which represents the temperature range. For example, 4 milliampere could mean the lowest temperature and 20 milliampere is the highest temperature being measured. And for the second slide, when the RTD is installed far from the transmitter, the long connecting wires can cause problem. This is because the resistance of the wires change with temperature, which can lead the error in the temperature reading. To fix this, a 3-wire RTD is used. In this setup, the 3-wire is W1, W2, and W3 are the same are made the same length, so they have the same resistance. In this circuit, the power supply connects to the end of the RTD and to the top of the Wheatstone bridge. The right side of the bridge has resistance R1 plus R2 plus RW2, and the left side has R3 plus RW3 and the RTD. Since Rw1 and Rw2 are equal, the resistance cancels out in the circuit. This means the effect of the connecting wire is eliminated, allowing the RTD to measure temperature accurately, even it's installed far from the transmitter. And for the advantage and disadvantage, as the summary of the advantage and disadvantage, for the advantage is the RTD has the several advantage over thermocouples. They respond very quickly within the fraction of a second, and they don't experience drift because they're not self-power. They're also more accurate and sensitive within their range. The benefit is that RTDs don't need special extension cable even for long installation, and they're less affected by radiation since they measure resistance and not voltage. For the disadvantage, also have some because they are more expensive because the metal used must be very pure. They can measure as wire a temperature range as thermocouples. If the power supply fails, it can cause wrong reading since RTDs measure very small challenges in resistance. Also, connection must be tight and clean to avoid errors. The next is the error failure modes. An open circuit in the RTD or in the wiring between the RTD and the bridge will cause the high temperature reading, and lost the power or short within the RTD would cause a low temperature reading.
I am Iravinis Albar and I'm going to discuss about the thermocouple. A thermocouple is a type of temperature sensor that works by generating a small voltage or electromotive force when two different metals are joined together. This voltage changes with temperature, allowing us to measure it. So there are two main parts. First is the hot junction, which is placed in contact with the object or process being measured. Next is the cold junction. It serves as a reference point. The temperature difference between these two junctions produces a measurable voltage that corresponds to temperature. So for the voltage calculation, The thermocouple's total output voltage is the difference between the voltages generated at the hot and cold junctions. So the formula is simply circuit EMF is equal to measurement EMF minus reference EMF. Since the voltage generated is very small, a temperature transmitter is often used to convert this tiny signal into a standard industrial output, like 4 to 20 milliampere, which can be easily read or sent to a control system. So for real-world applications, such as industrial machines or engines, the hot junction detects the temperature rise, while the cold junction, usually near the measuring device, it serves as the reference temperature. Then for the advantages, they are simple, durable, and inexpensive to install. They also work across a wide temperature range, making them useful for both very hot and very cold environments. Because of their ruggedness, thermocouples are ideal for industrial applications where other sensors might fail due to heat or vibration. While on the other hand, um, thermocouples also have limitations. When used over long distances, the wiring can become expensive and signal accuracy may drop. They are also sensitive to electromagnetic interference and radiation, which can cause measurement errors. Lastly, they may have a slower response time and depend on external power for signal conversion, making them slightly less stable compared to sensors like RTDs in some setups. Lastly, for the failure modes, so for the failure modes, thermocouples can experience two main issues. The first one is open circuit. So its wiring breaks the current flow, leading to a low or off-scale temperature reading. Next is short circuit. It creates a leakage path for current, resulting in a smaller measured voltage and therefore also a low temperature reading. So regular inspection and proper insulation are important to prevent these problems. In short, thermocouples remain an essential part of temperature measurement systems, balancing practicality, range, and performance in many real-world applications.
Hello, I'm Gian Francis Reales, and ngayon pag-uusapan naman natin yung thermal wells. Ah, Thermal wells are crucial components used for mounting temperature sensor like RTD and thermocouples in harsh process environments that are often hot, pressurized, corrosive, and radioactive. Ah, Aside from mounting, yung mga thermal wells ay tinatawag ding thermo wells and usually ginagamit siya for protection ng temperature sensor natin. So, yung idea ng thermo wells ay para hindi direct contact yung temperature, measuring devices natin or yung temperature sensor natin sa heat ng mga need natin i-measure. So, yung function and design ng thermal wells or thermo wells is it is a hollow metal tube with a sealed end that is permanently mounted into the pipework. It is its primary purposes are to provide mechanical protection for the sensor and to facilitate easy removal and replacement of the sensor without disrupting the sealed, pressurized, or corrosive process environment. So yung idea rito is hindi na need ma-stop yung operation kapag magpapalit tayo ng sensor. For example, nasira yung, temperature sensor natin, ang gagawin kasi is kailangan mo na patayin lahat ng process or yung operation bago tanggalin yung temperature sensor natin. Kasi ang ginagawa kapag direct nilalagay yung mga temperature sensor natin is yung mga pipework binubutasan tapos ilalagay yung sensor. Then tsaka palang iko-continue yung operation. Ngayon kapag nagka-problem yung temperature sensor natin, need ulit i-stop yung operation. Then, kasi kapag hindi, possible na mag-leak yung mga let's say for example may liquid sa loob, ah, possible mag-leak yun. So, ano siya, harmful siya. Kapag naman may thermowells, hindi na need, mag-stop ng operation kasi mounted na siya sa pipe. So, free makakabit yung, mga sensor at free din maaalis yung mga sensor anytime. So, another thing is ginagamit siya for protection. Yun talaga yung pinaka-purpose nung thermowells. Tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, hindi magkakaroon ng direct contact yung sensor sa heat na need natin i-measure. Kapag kasi direct contact siya, yung sensor tsaka yung heat, may tendency na mabali yung mga metal tube ng mga temperature sensor. Kapag na-expose sa pressure, for example, yung kanina may flowing liquid, then yung current flow ng flowing liquid na yun, lalo na kung malakas, baka hindi ma-handle nung metal tube yung, liquid na yun. So, possible mabali yun. Isa pa kapag, ah, metal ang pinag-uusapan, ah, madalas prone siya sa mga expansion. Kapag nag-absorb siya or na-expose yung metal tube na yun sa heat, kaya need talaga ng protection para the temperature sensor is inserted to the well until it makes contact with the sealed end, placing it directly within the process environment. So, dito not necessarily need mag-contact yung tip ng sensor sa inner tip ng thermowells. Usually talaga merong iniiwan na tiny gap, kasi yung tiny gap na yun puwede magamit yun for future problems. Like yung pag-expand nga nung temperature sensor, kapag kasi, nag-expand yung temperature sensor yung tube nun, kapag walang space possible masira din yung, thermal wells. So, 'pag nasira yun magkakaroon ng direct contact yung ano natin, yung temperature sensor tsaka yung, mine-measure natin na heat. So, may mga drawbacks din yung thermal wells. Ito, yung main disadvantage ng thermal wells is, sobrang tagal niya maka-measure ah, ng heat. Kasi hindi nga direct contact yung heat tsaka yung temperature sensor. Dumadaan muna siya sa, thermal wells bago, makarating dun sa, temperature sensor. Pero yung, response time na yun puwede ma-minimize yun kapag nililitan yung, ah, air gap dun sa ano, sensor and yung sa thermal well. Next na.
Good day, I am Miko Legaspi and I will be discussing thermostats. Thermostats directly regulate the temperature of a system by maintaining it constant or varying it over a specific range. The TC or RTD could be used as the temperature sensing element of a thermostat, but generally, thermostats are direct acting devices. So, this is primarily used to regulate temperature. Mine-maintain niya yung constant temperature sa isang system. There are two common types of thermostats. First is the pressure cylinder and the second one is the bimetallic strip. The pressure cylinder is a self-actuating temperature sensitive motor that uses thermal expansion to produce the mechanical force needed to regulate temperature by controlling the flow of fluid. So, kung makikita natin dito sa picture, meron siyang container and yung pinaka-gate is sa letter A picture, hinaharangan niya yung fluid or yung gas na makalabas inside the container. So, sa picture B naman, nung nagkaroon siya ng heat and kapag na-reach niya yung certain temperature na kailangan niya para ma-regulate is i-allow niya ngayon or bababa yung parang gate and i-allow niya na makalabas yung fluid or yung gas kasi nga na-reach niya na yung certain temperature and pwede na siyang ma-regulate. So, second one is the bimetallic strip. It is a component made up of two different metals bonded together. It exploits the fact that the metals expand at different rates when their temperature changes. This differential expansion causes the strip to bend, converting a change in temperature into a mechanical movement used to operate devices like thermostats and thermometers. So, yung bimetallic strip, it is a simple component na kung makikita natin dito sa picture. First is naka-straight lang yung strip. Then kapag nagkaroon siya ng heat and na-reach niya yung certain temperature, gradually magbe-bend yung strip. So this mechanical movement, it is commonly used as a simple on and off switch. So yung mechanical movement na to could complete an electrical circuit. Pwede nyo i-turn on or off yung heating or cooling system para ma-regulate yung temperature. Pressure cylinder versus bimetallic strip. The two types of direct acting thermostats, the pressure cylinder and the bimetallic strip, differ fundamentally in their working parts and power output. So, for the pressure cylinder, na-activate niya or deactivate yung external heating source based on the water temperature. While sa bimetallic strip naman, yung output niya, yung mechanical movement ng strip, directly niyang ino-open or close yung electrical circuit. So, it is a component. Pwede siyang present sa pressure cylinder. Ginagamit din siya as a sensing temperature device. The bimetallic strip uses two solid metals bonded together. When heated, the strip bends slightly, generating low force for simple on and off switch in affordable devices like irons or basic room thermostats. Conversely, the pressure cylinder uses the expansion of fluid or gas inside the sealed container to generate high force and greater movement, acting as a small motor for gradual precise regulation of flow in larger systems like water heaters or industrial valves.
Okay. So, I am Amalexian Cuerdo and I'll be explaining about the bimetallic thermostat and thermometer, what they are, how they work, and where we use them. So, from the word bimetallic, bi which means two, and metallic meaning metal, ibig sabihin nito ay binubuo siya ng dalawang magkaibang metal, either brass, steel, copper, which is nabanggit din naman ni Joshua kanina, it is bonded together. So, bakit ba dalawang metal? Because when metals are heated, they expand, pero hindi sila lumalawak ng pareho. Okay? Yung isang metal ay mas mabilis mag-expand kaysa dun sa isa. And once it gets heated, nagko-curve siya, or nagko-curve yung bimetallic strip at doon nag-start yung paggamit nito as thermometer at thermostat. And ano ba yung use ng bimetallic strip sa thermometer? So, it is used to measure temperature. Inside, the bimetallic strip is usually coiled into a spiral or helix at nakakabit ito sa isang pointer o karayom na when the temperature gets higher, when the temperature rises, the strip bends, and that movement turns the pointer on a dial, showing the current temperature. In short, it's a simple mechanical way to measure heat without using any electricity. For example, sa mga oven thermometers, kapag umiinit yung oven, the pointer moves clockwise to show how hot it is. And next, we have the bimetallic thermostat. So it is used to measure, but and it is used not to measure, but to control the temperature. So ang function nito ay parang automatic switch. Ang halimbawa naman nito is yung electric iron na habang umiinit ang plancha, umiinit din yung bimetallic strip sa loob. And once it reaches the desired temperature, nagbe-bend yung strip at ito yung nagko-cause para mag-break yung electrical contact nito. Meaning, the iron turns off para hindi masunog yung tela na pinaplansya mo. So, kapag lumamig na ulit, yung strip na yun, it straightens and turns the power back on. And that's how it maintains a steady or safe temperature. So, ganito rin yung principle sa mga air conditioners at refrigerators kung saan yung thermostat ang nag-a-adjust ng cooling system based sa temperature na gusto mo. Next slide. So in summary, both devices have the same principle. The bending of a bimetallic strip caused by temperature changes, but they have separate jobs. So yung una is the bimetallic thermometer is for measurement. It shows the temperature. And while the bimetallic thermostat is for control. It turns systems on or off automatically depending on the temperature. And that concludes our report about temperature measurement. So thank you for listening.